while you were speaking, I actually thought of a really good question.
Hmm.
So
I don't like your questions.
I know you don't, and that's why I asked them. So you lost your dad, I lost my mom, and Mother's Day already passed, and Father's Day is coming.
Hmm.
And you said you feel like you don't really expect anyone to kind of say anything to you around it.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel like because of it being like your dad and it's Father's Day, and Father's Day is just not as blown up as Mother's Day?
It's a good question.
Welcome, welcome. It's your girls here for another episode. I know y'all missed us. It's only been a week, so don't worry, we're back.
I know. I'm sure everyone just looked so forward to their Tuesdays or whichever day you
Yes.
choose to listen.
Yes, I know everyone's anxiously waiting for that Tuesday to come so you can hear something new from us. It's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good. So we are still in the month of June, and we have some things coming up that affect us all
A lot.
and some that affect some of us. But I want to say things that affect us all, but they affect us all in different ways.
All right.
I
What you
think
got?
that's the most appropriate way to put it.
Yeah, I think so
So
too.
this week we have June 19th coming up.
Hmm.
And June 19th means different things. For you, what does June 19th mean for you?
Well, I don't think it's the same day every year, but
This
this
year. This year.
for this year, it would be Father's Day.
Mm, very true.
But there's a lot of other things on this day as well. Which are you thinking?
Well, I would say to start off on a more positive light, we have Juneteenth,
Ooh,
which
ooh.
is coming up. Yes. And then we have Father's Day, which falls on June 19th this year as
Hmm.
well. And then the less exciting date for June 19th is it's my mom's, oh gosh, I almost said 4-year anniversary of her passing date, the date that she passed away.
Yeah, that's
4
crazy.
years on Father's Day this year. So,
Yeah, that's I can't. I
woo,
I just can't.
so much. But Juneteenth is pretty cool. That is the emancipation of the slaves. So, of course, in my culture of the Black people, many are celebrating and, out there getting live and, just being proud of our history.
Yeah,
So I
sure.
know there's, different cities have different types of events and things like that going on to be able to celebrate Juneteenth, which I think is a great thing. Um, you know, any type of celebration for something positive is a great celebration.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a huge thing to celebrate and be proud of, you know. It
Hmm.
sucks that it was even a thing and has to be celebrated in the first place, but, you know,
Right.
at least the end became a thing and now it's more than reason than ever to celebrate and I'm glad that it's being recognized a lot more. I
Hmm.
know even in New York City we're officially recognizing it as a holiday, which is exciting.
Oh,
So
nice.
same thing as like President's Day or Memorial Day or anything like that. It's getting recognized as an actual holiday.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
It
So
well deserved. And then I've
definitely.
seen random things like Walmart branding Juneteenth
Mm,
ice cream,
yikes.
which is weird as hell.
Well, people always trying to get a profit on shit. It's annoying.
It's true. And then even a museum had Juneteenth watermelon salad.
If that ain't the most racist shit I've ever heard.
Right.
Oh my
Like,
god.
what are you doing here? What, like, you're done. You're done.
That's
What are you doing?
crazy.
Right. Like, can we just let the people celebrate and be happy and not try to make a dime off of their celebrations? Like,
Right.
God, dog.
Like
But,
even with you saying that real quick, I did just read this article today on my way home from work and I just feel like I had to mention it
oh
now that you say
gosh.
that. It's not Juneteenth related, and I don't
Hmm.
know how truthful this is, 'cause, not everything you read on the internet is true, but
Right.
I did just see something, not, I don't think you would consider it racist, it maybe whatever. But
Prejudice, maybe.
maybe, but so apparently
Maybe.
Burger King had an ad for, because June is also Pride Month. Just throw that in there off the top of my head too. And I
Oh, that's
guess
right. Yeah.
I guess Burger King had some kind of an ad where they were making double top or double bottom bun burgers. So instead of like you know
What?
you know how like you'll have like the bottom of the burger bun
Right.
and then you'll have the top of the burger bun.
So same side burgers,
So
same
yeah,
side
either
bum burgers.
like one would either have like both tops or one would have both bottoms. And
Ooh.
they're like, "Who, like, where they do that at?" Like, and
What is going on?
that's the way that Burger King found it was appropriate to celebrate Pride Month, and I was like, "This
They
is
couldn't find
just,
anything else.
I guess not."
I'm sorry, but if I was in the shoes of someone who was into someone of the same sex and found out about Burger King doing that, if that is a real thing, I'd be so irritated.
I
Hell,
know.
I'm irritated and I am not into the same sex gender. So they Burger King, really?
Right, but I mean, it's the same thing. Like fucking watermelon. Like, come
Yes,
on. Like,
exactly. Like, what's wrong with these people and their concepts? Like,
yeah,
you think you're doing someone a favor and you're just making yourself look stupid.
right.
Oh my
Just I
gosh.
can't imagine being that person who like came up with the idea.
I
Like,
can't
this is
imagine
a.
being the person to get the damn burger and it'd be like, why do I got two of the same sides?
I can't. I can't.
Like, did y'all run out of tops and bottoms?
Nope, that was intentional, folks.
Oh my goodness. But that is right. It is also Pride Month for the month of June. So
Hmm.
shout out to everyone who's celebrating. Uh, my apologies on our behalf for not mentioning that. That it was also Pride Month for the month of June.
Yes.
Um, in our previous episode, we did speak about the month of June being PTSD awareness and Alzheimer's and brain awareness. So, you
Hmm.
know, we can't forget our Pride Month either.
Yes. And I figured just to wrap it back up to how this conversation started, I'm going to throw in a little plug since it's going to be releasing before Juneteenth occurs. Is that my girlfriend Jessica is throwing a Juneteenth celebration in Waterbury. So if you guys are near, let me know and I can send you the info.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, Jess. I see you, girl.
Yes.
Nice.
So,
So, for Father's Day now,
meh. Can we just go back to Juneteenth?
if I had more to speak on, sure, but Father's
Ah.
Day, we can't forget the dads now because there's always, it's just always, moms are moms. Moms and dads are two different types of parents,
Hmm.
and I'll never discredit either parent when they're doing their job,
Right.
right? So for the dads out there who are active dads and, you know, work to be a parent as all parents should,
Hmm.
they deserve love too on Father's Day.
Definitely.
Because there's always those forgotten ones, I guess we can call them. So it's always nice to talk about Father's Day and just to remember that there are dads out there who deserve to be acknowledged. I mean, unfortunately, in your case, your dad isn't here anymore.
Hmm.
But if he was, he's one of those dads that deserve to be acknowledged for Father's Day.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But was there anything that you and your dad, that is there anything that you would do specifically with your dad for Father's Day at all to celebrate him, or like any types of traditions?
I don't I wouldn't say that there's anything like specific that we did. Something that we probably always did and something that I don't necessarily remember. But I'm sure like, we just like went out to eat or just, did something to spend like quality time together, but it was never some like big, celebration to where it was like, oh, we do this every year or something. But
Right. Okay.
we definitely would always get together and just kind of, just be in each other's presence for sure.
Have that QT, that quality time.
Yeah, which to me is most important at the end of the day. Like
I agree. I
everything else
agree.
doesn't matter. So,
Things that don't. actually cost you anything or that don't necessarily make you depleted or take from you are
Right.
the best. I think that's awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, I would say for my dad, I I always got him a card, but I would say that I wasn't very proactive in like going big or doing as much as I did for my mom for Mother's Day.
Yeah. Well, that's true though, and it's, even for me, like, I can tell you that I always get my mom flowers and, we would go out somewhere or whatever, but dads definitely don't get the recognition that they deserve.
Yeah, so it's just like I feel like as time goes on, it's kind of more of the reason to me for me to like reflect on it and be like, dang, I gotta do better for my dad. Like, I gotta do
Yeah.
something different, or, at least just show more appreciation. Because as we know, my dad isn't my biological dad, but he's
Mhm.
been my dad.
Right.
And, for someone to step into shoes like that, and I know there's many guys out there like that,
Mhm.
that's a big thing. And they definitely deserve like some type of kudos, especially if you turned out pretty damn great. Now if they stepped in and just fucked your whole shit up, that's a different story.
Right, and yeah, I think that's a huge point to make too, though. Just because, he's not biological doesn't mean anything. Step parents are just as important as,
Exactly.
real ones, so
Right. And then also too, not having my mom here, it's more of the reason that I should be celebrating my dad because I do have him here.
right.
And I do appreciate him being here and he still loves me and nothing's changed because my mom's not here,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know. But and then also too, I know we kind of recapped on it a little bit in our Mother's Day episode, but for people like you who don't have your dad, for Father's Day, what are different ways that you feel like you could be best supported around that day?
Um, just don't talk to me about it.
Yeah, you being honest.
I mean, you know me, 'cause it's like, what are you gonna say?
Hmm.
You know, I just feel like there's nothing that, like, anybody can really say other than, like, "Hey, like, I'm here if, like, you need me today," or whatever,
Hmm.
but I don't really think that there's anything that anybody needs to say or that I expect anybody to say, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, because even if I wanted someone to, I wouldn't even tell you what the right thing is to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, I feel like that's just kind of like a hard one, and for me, I'm able to just kind of, like, distract myself now because, you know, um, my partner's a dad, and I kind of just get to put all my energy and my focus into that, so I don't have to think about, like, my own situation, you know what I mean?
makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
I think that kind of makes it a little easier because y'all know me, and avoidance is key.
Oh my gosh, you ain't never lie. So while you were speaking, I actually thought of a really good question.
Hmm,
So
I don't like your questions.
I know you don't, and that's why I asked them. So you lost your dad, I lost my mom, and Mother's Day already passed, and Father's Day is coming.
Mhm,
And you said you feel like you don't really expect anyone to kind of say anything to you around it.
yeah.
Um, do you feel like because of it being like your dad and his Father's Day, and Father's Day is just not as blown up as Mother's Day?
It's a good question. Um, I mean, I guess it I you stupid. I mean, I guess it could be, but I don't know. I don't know if I would feel knowing me, I would probably feel the same way, if it was the other way and it was my mom instead of my dad. Just because, like, what can you really say to somebody? And, like, we've talked about it before in the Mother's Day episode, like, I don't even really know what to say to you necessarily because I feel like
Hmm.
there really isn't anything that, like, I can say. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, I'm sorry your mom's not here." Like, I don't I don't know. I don't really know what there is. It kinda has me, like, speechless. I really just don't know what there is to say other than just kind of, like, knowing, like, hey, like, if I'm having, like, a moment and, like, I slip up and, like, I'm having, like, a sad memory or something, like, hey, like, I can text you and say, "Can you, like, talk to me for a second?" Or,
Right.
know something. Like letting me know that like you're available for me to talk to if I need it, to me
Hmm.
would be the most important thing. Um, other than you like trying to like, you know,
Reach
craft a
out and
message.
console. You're
Yeah.
right.
I think just a simple, hey, like, I'm here, love
Hmm.
you,
Right.
you know?
Hey, I'm here. Love you. Bye. I'm not going to talk about it.
And that's just me, I don't know, other people are not as weird and, might might expect something or they might want to do something or, I don't know. But for
it's
me, yeah.
it's a key point of asking those around you who have suffered that loss.
Mhm.
What do you need from me? Do you need anything from me? Can I do anything? Is there anything I shouldn't do?
Yeah. I think that's huge. Really understanding that person in your life and, you know, don't be afraid to have those conversations with them so that way you get an idea because you don't wanna make them upset by, like, not reaching out, but then you also
Mm,
don't wanna make them upset by, like, saying the wrong thing either, and they should be able to kind of, like, nudge you in the right direction for, like, what works for them, so I think that's important.
very true. I agree. Yeah, it's one of those things that I really didn't start to think about until we're having this conversation
Mm,
of when you think about Mother's Day and Father's Day and how neglected Father's Day can be, but then it made me think even deeper like I have a friend, you, who doesn't have her father and never really made a big stink around Father's Day and like her dad not being here. So it was just something I kind of had to think about. But then at the same time, because I have so many thoughts all at once, that I was thinking, well, a mom for out of my closeness with you and Nat, like a mom is something that we all primarily have in common, opposed to our dad situations are all different.
oh, yeah, that's
You know,
true.
our dynamics with our parents are so different, but the one like present factor is always our moms.
Mhm,
So it makes it easier to, in my opinion, it makes it easier to be more mindful of someone around Mother's Day opposed
mhm,
to mindfulness around Father's Day.
yeah,
So
that's true
it was
too.
just a random thought, but nonetheless, we all should be supported in the same way. We all should be communicative with each other,
Mhm.
communicative. That's the right way to say it. Whatever. I don't really care. But y'all know what I'm saying. With each other, just around loss in general, you know? So
Yeah, definitely, and, like, the most I would probably do is, like, post something on, like, Facebook or Instagram or something, but
you better than me.
well, you don't really post as it is, so
I
it's
don't.
not like,
As
surprising.
time goes on, I notice myself to post less, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, and a part of it is because I don't want to be reminded or share the like not necessarily be reminded because I'll share pictures of the dog.
Oh, I was gonna say, girl, 'cause some Facebook memories.
Yeah.
That
The
shit.
dog is the only one I really can share, but when it comes to like sharing my mom, it's like there's stuff that I've skipped to
Oh, I'm
not go
sure.
there, you
Yeah.
know. So it makes sense.
Avoidance.
But hanging around you.
No,
But
it's a good coping mechanism.
yeah,
Might not be the healthiest, but it's a good one.
I don't know if it's good. It's definitely unhealthy, but
Uh,
it's a mechanism, a coping mechanism for sure. But I just mainly wanted to be able to just speak a little bit on Father's Day,
Of course.
and just put it into the atmosphere because it's one of those where now I'm holding myself accountable if I'm speaking to y'all about it. Where
Mhm.
it's like I need to do better for my dad and Father's Day.
Mhm.
Um, Not really sure what I'm going to do for him.
I was gonna say, well, if he's listening, he's gonna wanna know what y'all are gonna do
Right.
now.
So I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna share with y'all because I don't want to blow up my spot of what it is I'm gonna be doing with him. But I'll follow up with y'all after Father's Day and let y'all know how that went. So
There
at
you go.
least that way it's
That sounds like a good plan.
keeps me accountable, but gives me a little time.
Exactly. There you go. I like it.
But this year for me is going to be I don't want to deem the day as rough, but it's going to be an interesting day because of Father's Day also being my mom's anniversary of her death date.
Ugh,
Um, that's just a lot in one day,
it
and
is.
the way my life has been set up lately, stress is just kind of able to I'm able to succumb to stress like peer pressure.
Mm.
I guess is the best analogy I can put for that. So,
Mm,
um, a little anxious around the day,
I bet.
but because I do want to spend time with my dad, and my dad and I typically end up speaking about my mom whenever we're together because
Mm,
we're reliving those memories together. He does have a new relationship, not like brand new, but he is in a relationship from after my mom. Um, and obviously he's not going to talk to her
right.
about my mom. So it's
Yeah,
just like
it's true.
that's kind of his only opportunity aside from if he's with one of my uncles. So it's just kind of going to
Aw.
be it has the potential to be an emotional day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. At least so you have your distraction and I have my distraction.
We're
Oh,
hoping, but my distraction brings up what I'm trying to be distracted from.
I know.
So
That is true. What a double whammy this Juneteenth is.
yeah, it's a bit much. So
Mm,
I I'm maybe I can get him to go with me to a Juneteenth event or something, and
there you
we
go.
can do something a little different and distracting for the both of us.
Yeah.
Because if I distract him, it distracts me, and we're all distracted, and it all goes well with Cassie's key of avoidance. So
There you go.
so
I'm gonna name this episode "Avoidance is Key." Tips by Cassie.
DM for extra tips. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
So
yes, I have all those avoidance tips in the book here.
tips and tricks and flips and all of them.
What is that part of
Yeah,
our
y'all
PTSD?
don't be avoidant.
Be like
Just
me.
work through it. Work through it. That's what we're here for, to work through it. So I'm gonna work through this Juneteenth slash Father's Day slash Doomsday.
Oh God.
no,
Oh, I mean, it kind of is in a way.
so yeah, it's gonna
You-
it's gonna be a rough one this year, but I always make it through. I've made it this far, you know.
Yeah,
You've made it this far. We
somehow.
as a whole, as people, have made it this far.
Yeah,
We got this. I got this.
this is true. We'll get through it. And we're here for each other if we need it at the end of the day. So
Always. Nothing
good
but
enough for
love.
me.
And
Yeah.
we got y'all too. We got y'all. Y'all be responding and chit chatting with us. So, if I put my feelings out there, I'm going to need y'all to just let me know you hear me. Holla if you hear me.
Definitely. A little reassurance is always a good thing.
Yes. So, but yeah, so we just wanted to reach out to y'all and, allow you to be of better support to those around you and being of support, whether if you're celebrating Juneteenth with your friends, family, community, better
Hmm.
support, whether it's Father's Day and you want to kick it up a notch and do a little more for your dad or appreciate your dad a little more, or even just, have some time to reflect on a dad you may have lost and or be avoidant like Cassie
Uh,
and not even think about the loss and allow yourself to be distracted by another dad who's doing well.
yes.
And then unfortunately we have a anniversary here that no one ever looks forward to as an anniversary. I feel like anniversary is like a positive word, just want to say.
It
But when it
is.
comes to someone's passing, it doesn't feel positive.
No, so I was gonna say it's the one anniversary that you don't want to celebrate.
Right. But, just speaking to y'all a little bit about it helps to support me in that
Mhm.
avenue of my life. So I just want to make sure that, we can kind of talk to y'all about this before everything comes and hits us or
Yeah, right.
me.
Then we'll have to report back and let y'all know how it went.
Exactly. And we'd like to hear some feedback from y'all too on any plans you may have or good gifts to give because I feel like that's a hard one too, especially
Mm,
I mean, with dads it's kind of like the cliche sports gifts because they're into sports or like get him his favorite beer or his favorite snack and
I know. I got my I got my boyfriend a pack of beer last Father's Day, and he was like, "I could just get this any day."
see that's exactly what it is. I just I can't. But a pack of beer. Nothing wrong with that though, because you were able to support him in it. I think Cassie has gone mute, and that's okay.
All right, y'all. So again, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I know we kind of unleashed a lot onto you guys, but there's a lot going on. So Amanda said, feel
When
free
isn't there?
to, well, true story. But feel free to, reach out to us. Let us know, are there any ways that you guys cope for those that are like me and don't have your father? Or if you do, what are things that you're doing to celebrate them? We want to hear it.
Absolutely. Let us know. We
Yes,
thank y'all for tuning in to another episode.
sure do. And we will talk to you guys next time.
Happy Father's Day to the dads.
And Juneteenth.
Bye.
Bye.